What's up guys, and welcome back to a new video. Now, as you've seen by the title, we are going to be switching out the Pro Ram Air induction kit for the Direnza one that's in the box over there. Now, to those of you that know, that have watched the channel for long enough, you'll know exactly who this gentleman is right here. Don't worry, I'm going to introduce him in a second. But this car has transformed since the last time he saw it. Now, of course, he moved away from Cheltenham 2 years ago, and I haven't seen him since, and this car's just made absolute levels ever since then. But yeah, we're going to get him to drive it today, see what his initial reaction is, but more importantly, I want him to introduce himself, because he has experienced some funny things when it comes to GCM. Guys, I think he's got some stories that he should tell you. Ross has just like inhaled 3 of them. How's the work gone though? Has it been okay? Anything that you've come across that maybe you could alert the viewers?
Hi guys, my name's Ross. You might remember me from some of the early GCM videos back about 3-4 years ago now, when George used to have his Garan RS, and then when he had his Nissan 350Z convertible. It was a nice car, that.
Yeah. So tell them the oil story.
George very nearly ruined it. I came here once to do an oil service with him, and we took the oil sump out, the sump plug out of the 350Z, and some oil came out, and like, oh, it must hardly any to come out, so it must be because it's on a bit of a ramp. So we jacked the car up, no more oil came out, and in total he had 700 mil of oil in a car that needed about 5.5 litres, I think. So it's very lucky that was actually still running in the end.
Learning curve, definitely. Yeah. Been evolving in time. But guys, like I said, he hasn't seen this car in a while, and of course he's a massive car enthusiast, so we're going to get him out in this car today once he's switched over the induction kit and see exactly what he thinks. So it's going to be exciting today, guys. I haven't done an ST video in a while. Join me along for the process, and I promise you won't be disappointed. But yeah, let's get close to the car, get that induction kit out, and we'll get started. Right, so Ross, first port of call is taking out the old induction kit. I've had this on for a while. It's an amazing piece of kit, but since the Direnza one has arrived, I've been meaning to swap them over.
I taught George how to use a screwdriver.
You cheeky son of a so-and-so. Right, let's take this thing out. It's really easy. Oh, do you know what I've gone and done?
So easy.
I've gone and unscrewed the actual attachment for the induction
adapter,
kit, rather than the bit that actually takes it out of the car.
I didn't teach him to do that.
Right guys, so Pro Ram induction kit's out. This is an amazing piece of kit, and as I'm sure most of you probably already know, this is the go-to induction kit system for your Focus ST225. However, there are plenty of other options on the market, and that's exactly why we're going to be swapping this one out for the Direnza one, which is right here. Now, the same with any upgraded induction kit system, you're going to get a lot more than just the actual cone inside the box. I don't actually need those parts for my car in this particular video, so we're going to be bolting this one in and basically comparing it, because I know this is phenomenal. Those of you that are watching this video probably know that too. But yeah, it's really, really simple. We're just going to plug this one in, and we're going to go out for a drive and see what it's made of. So there's lots of other stuff in the box, like I just mentioned, lots of pipe attachments and an ECU holder as well. But like I said, for now, we don't necessarily need them. So Ross, let's get this on and go out for a drive. This is going to be fun. Right, so first thing that we've come up to straight away is that we've got a little coolant leak, which is coming off the back of the radiator. Now, no disrespect to Direnza, that just means that we didn't fit it properly when we made that video, and that would explain why we've got a very slow leak from the coolant. But yeah, Ross picked up on that one, so let's move this headlight out of the way real quick and loosen this up. Ross, have you got any advice? Because I was worried all the coolant would rush out.
So the trick is probably, once you've loosened it, get it seated into position, then hold the tube with your hand, and then tighten it whilst you're still holding it. Because if it's not seated correctly, as you tension the Jubilee clip,
we might need an actual like torque wrench.
Okay.
Not torque wrench, is that what it's called?
Socket wrench.
Socket wrench, that's what I meant. We leave this to Ross so we don't mess this up. What do you reckon, guys? We used him at the beginning. We haven't used him in 2 years, so we've definitely earned some...
I'm not a professional, I'm an enthusiastic amateur.
It's my birthday on Saturday, so this could be your birthday gift to me.
Hold that in position, I'll tighten it up.
I don't know how much it needs to go on. Do you want to play yourself?
I might loosen it a bit more just in case there's too much tension in it. It's the bottom that it's not seating properly. So if you can hold it there for a second.
Yeah.
Isometric hold there, George. Good.
Don't snap it.
Well, that's about half an inch further on.
Well, it was certainly not loose enough to cause a serious issue. But had you not checked this for a couple of months, your coolant would have ran dry quite easily. But yeah, let's get the headlight back on and stick the induction kit in, and we're all good to go.
Actually, we've got more room than I thought I had on this connecting pipe.
It's weird having something red in the engine bay. I mean, obviously we've got the RS vac pipe, which is red.
Oh, I'm going to have to move that around because you can't have those in...
You want it easily accessible. There's nothing more annoying than when someone fits something in your engine bay and they put the screw around the back.
Take that off, just so that we can have the Jubilee clips matching, so in the same place, because when you look at, when they're one's on one way, the other one's on the other way, they look a bit cack. There we So they'll both be at the top now. They're not quite matching, but
It's a nice design though, isn't it, from Direnza? It does look nice.
it does look very nice.
The black one is a bit perished, to say the least, and having a nice fresh one in there.
You'll
is
need to keep it
definitely
clean because it will go grey over time, and then it won't look quite as nice as it does now. Did you have an induction kit on when Alice went in it? I can't remember if you did or not.
Yeah, we did have an induction kit.
Which one was it?
I just think we had a fairly basic one at the time. Just don't stand in front of the camera. Stand on this side.
I was going to stand on the other side.
Stand on this side.
Oh, that side, yeah.
Ignore the rattle, right? The rattle's coming from the ECU. I'm happy with that. The car sounds angry as usual. Now let's tie all this stuff up and go out for a drive.
Yeah.
Right.
£25.36.
That's fine, mate. I'll PayPal you.
That fat woman in front of me in the queue spent £7 on petrol and £9 on fags. For God's sake.
I'm going to leave that in the video. Right, let's get these windows shut and let's go somewhere to film.
Is this filming now?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
In terms of this one here on the right hand side, it shouldn't really go any further than 3/4.
Okay.
Hopefully you guys can see me. Hi. George is in the passenger seat. Ross is in the big boy seat. Do you want to adjust the wheel any way you see fit?
Pull that out a little bit.
So to those of you that are new and have tuned into this video and have absolutely no idea what this car is, I bought this car in, needless to say, absolutely horrendous condition. It was awful.
Bodywork wasn't good, was it?
Well, everything, mate. Everything to do with the car was basically in need of replacement and looking after. It's now, as you can see, running a Club Sport AirTech cage, BAF Motorsport K-brace, BC coilovers, big brakes, Revo Stage 2, Pilot Sport 4s are the tyres we're running,
RS
EBC, drilled and grooved, yellow stuff pads, and yeah, I mean, loads of stuff.
The air intake as we just put on.
Yeah, so we've got a Stage 3 intercooler, we've got a radiator, spacers, RS alloys, the works basically. This car's had some love, but obviously Ross hasn't seen it or driven it since any of that stuff happened. So yeah, take it somewhat easy.
Yeah,
don't boost it in first gear.
Yes, boss.
Yeah, let's just go with the flow.
Don't stall it coming out of this junction.
Yeah, you've got half a tank of fuel, because obviously they could hear me when I was filling up.
Yeah.
£1.40.5.
That's not bad for 99 at the moment.
You think? God, are you happy with the wheel being there?
Yeah, I like it high up and close to me. I haven't driven anything with like north of 300 horsepower for a while. These mirrors are good fun.
Thought you'd say that.
I like it. The mid-range is brilliant. It's on BC coilovers now, isn't it?
BC coilovers.
Yeah. I had them on a Scooby. They're really good. They're hard, but they're not uncomfortably hard. They're
a very good setup.
They are very good setup.
Definitely recommend anyone that's considering coilovers going with BC.
Yeah, they're kind of a mid-range, but they're kind of value for money because you get adjustable camber, caster, damping, height adjustable. Plus they've got their, I forget the design called, but because they screw into the base, you don't have the little springs that adjust the height.
Yeah. So Luke, quote me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure Luke's got KW coilovers on his, which are £2.5 grand. And yeah, they're amazing. Don't get me wrong, I can't compare them. I've not driven this on track just yet.
Yeah.
But Luke hasn't cut it short.
Are they Club Sports or V3s?
I don't know. Luke will tell us in the comments.
Right. The BCs that this have got, they've got they screw into the strut rather than sitting on top of it. So when you adjust the height, it doesn't adjust the preload of the springs. The preload stays the same. So just because you lower the car down, the actual ride quality remains the same, just a bit lower. Have you got standard drive shafts on this?
Standard, yeah. So with these cars,
yeah,
lots of companies make upgraded ones, but it's not about the drive shaft being upgraded that prevents the drive shaft from breaking.
It's because it lowers it too much, doesn't it? So it takes it out of the tolerance.
A lot of people lower their cars so that the drive shaft is at an angle that puts it at risk.
Yes, that's it.
With me, it's it's uprated blower control arms. I've had engine mounts done. There's a lot less vibration and a lot less torque going through those.
Yeah.
Well, that might be the wrong way to describe it, but long story short, it's about how you set it up. Oh, there's a number. What does that number plate say? 30?
Set. You're probably called Charles.
Set him all.
This car's got what, 96,000 miles? It feels brand new. It feels so tight. You don't think?
Yeah, the steering rack I do want replaced though, because it
I can't really
creaks
feel
a little bit.
Oh, it creaks. I can't feel any play in it. If it's creaking, it may well be that the bushings rather than the actual rack.
Yeah.
So you can probably get some Super Pro bushings for about 30, 40 quid that will then take away that creak. So over time the bushings just go hard and they allow the rack to move ever so slightly on the mounting points.
Yeah.
So you just put some nice Super Pro, some poly ones on there, and that should tighten it up nicely and to get rid of all the noise.
So guys, if you're wondering about the map that this car's got, and I believe this is the case for any car, and I always try and use metaphors that people can understand in regards to my background in fitness. Obviously you've got a background in fitness as well. Mm-hmm. It's not about having maximum brake horsepower figures and really pushing your engine.
Drivability.
You want your engine sat at a brake horsepower point that it can run at good power, but for a long period of time, rather than running big power for 3 months and then dying on you. And because this engine isn't forged, it's obviously had the block mod done. Preventative maintenance is key. It's a Revo Stage 2, thanks to BD Performance. It's just a great little setup, if I'm honest. I feel that this car is fantastic. I've been in a lot of STs. No, it's not RS Turbo yet, and no, it's not forged.
Right now it feels like it's at a sweet spot of power,
exactly.
Drivability, comfort, refinement. It just feels like a good fast road car. Doesn't feel compromised.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I mean?
sure.
The gear change is nice. That's a short shifter.
Yeah, you did that.
Did I?
I swear you did the short shifter on this.
Right.
But I'd like a 0.1 Technologies one.
Is that like a sequential?
Yeah, it's up here, proper tight.
Okay.
It's a really cool little system. But again, best part of between 900 and 1100 pounds.
What make is it?
0.1 Technologies.
Right. Is it similar to one that Luke's
Get in
got?
touch if you want.
Similar to the one that Luke's got in his Megane?
Yeah.
The high up one, right? Okay.
With the yellow knob on the end.
Yeah. They are smart looking pieces of kit. They're a bit more track orientated though for that price.
They're actually colour matched to your car as well. Like he custom makes each one. Like they really are incredible, and I feel like when I do have the finances, it's going to be something that I do on this car. But yeah, guys, this wasn't planning on being a long video. It was more just get Ross out in it, and then hopefully in another 2 years you'll be like fully forged RS Turbo.
550 brake, ripping up fourth gear in the dry. That's 70. Gets there quite quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Fun time's over. Then you see like something like an RS6, right? Let's say it's 600, 650
Crazy
horsepower.
cars.
That gets to 70 in probably, well, from a roll in probably
2.7 seconds.
No, from a roll. So let's say you're doing 30 to 70.
2 seconds.
Second and a half, 2 seconds, and you've got a second and a half of wide open throttle before you're into speeding fine territory, and you've probably got about 2 seconds before you're into license losing territory. I think for the road, is 650 horsepower really needed? I don't think so.
I don't know, I'd rather have 650 horsepower than 306.
I think you see a lot of guys who buy GTRs and they keep them for a year and they think, yes, it's very, very good at going very, very quickly, but you can't drive the nuts off it on the road, and it's such a capable car.
Prime example why a Clio 200 is such a good car.
Exactly.
Because you can push it and not break the speed limit all the time.
When I had my Megane, that was 300 pounds for 300 brake horsepower, and a very capable chassis running Nankang NS2Rs on the road. And it was such a capable car that you have to drive it so hard on the road, which is just ridiculous. You've got to drive it too hard on the road to have the fun that you need to get from the chassis. Like driving at 8/10s, it's boring. You have to be driving it at 9.5/10s to actually get any enjoyment from the car. And on the road, it just doesn't really make any sense. It's going to end in tears at some point. Which is part of the reason why I sold that and bought the Scooby, because the Scooby is an event just starting it up and moving it into a parking space, because you've got that
I remember
the big scoop on the front, the exhaust on the back.
I remember getting into your car, your Scooby, and being like, oh my God, I feel like I can't drive again. It's so different. And I think you had those indicator attachments, didn't you? That sort of made the indicators come closer to the wheel.
Yeah, because I put the, like I said, I like having the steering wheel really close to me. So because I put that big the steering boss on it, that means that the indicator stalk and the washer stalk were about 2 hands worth away from the wheel. Whereas now, when you put them on it now, you've got them in reach. But then again, they're on the opposite side as well, because JDM cars have the indicators on the right-hand side as opposed to the left-hand side, like everywhere else in the world.
So yeah, Ross, what do you think?
I really, really enjoyed that, George. Thank you very much for letting me drive it. It feels like it should have come from the factory like this. You know what I mean? Kind of feels like.
If only.
Yeah, like this is how I imagine like an RS would feel.
Yeah,
from the
no,
factory.
100%.
It's got the power. It rides nicely. It rides nicely, but it's not harsh. It feels tight. It's got power. It sounds good.
It's lacking 30 horsepower from the RS standard.
No, the RS is 300 brake on the nose.
Pretty sure it's
No, RS is 300 brake on the nose, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
There we go then, boys.
Yeah, definitely. 2.5 litre, 5-pot, 300 horsepower, isn't it?
My Ross approved RS ST4.
Probably got more. It'll have more torque than the RS. I think the RS is torque limited in first and second, though, isn't it?
They got so angry at me for calling this the ST4 because it's an ST1 with ST3 bits.
Right.
And I said it was an ST4, and they're like, "No, it's not." It's really not the case.
Making up model specs.
Yeah, guys. So this is supposed to be a fairly quick video. I know in terms of the induction kit, you didn't get much from it. I suppose in that sense, it's very hard to hear. I don't know, especially with these wireless microphones that we've got on our t-shirts. But it sounds great. I mean, it sounded really good.
Yeah.
In terms of whether we would use this induction kit again, absolutely. I'm actually going to leave this one on the car ongoing.
So, yeah.
But yeah, it's just really hard to say without loads of drive-bys, and I suppose breaking the law on a busy road. It's kind of hard to compare the induction kit itself. But
I
no,
think
it
they are
sounds
likely
great.
to be quite similar because they're a similar design. They're both foam. They're both mesh filters rather than like the foam type that you get. Like that program that you've got, Rama started off making the foam filters.
They did, yeah. That's what I had before.
Yeah.
When I had a coolant explosion, it actually got soaked and went red.
Right.
And it looked so tacky, but the Pro looks so much nicer.
Yeah.
But the red accent in the car with like the red screws on my lights and a couple of the red screws in the engine bay do actually look quite nice. Obviously, big shout out to Direnza. In the comment section below or the description section will be a link to their website where you can find one for yourself if you're interested. I'll try and do a full install video and review in the future, but I just wanted to let you know that you don't need to stick to one induction kit. Like anything that goes into any modified car, there's always options. And just because something's a big name doesn't mean it's the best. So I was happy to try it out.
Definitely.
Ross enjoyed the ST. But
Very
yeah,
much
mate,
so.
I'm sure we'll see you in another year or two.
Yeah, when I'm back down here, checking
When
the
it's
house
been
out,
fully
kind of
forged
thing. Yeah,
and
definitely.
Big turb skied.
And the golf slammed.
But yeah, before we go, what do you think of the recent content that I've been posting? 'Cause I know it's a bit different.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, to be honest. Like, obviously, my knowledge of the law already was quite good. And I think just those videos, they just clear up quite a bit of the grey area. You look at some law and you're like, oh, it's black and white. But when you actually go to look at it, some parts of the car, the modifications, you're like, oh, actually, is that legal or is it not? So it has quite...
Is there
kind of
things that
opened
you
my eyes
didn't
a
know
little
that
bit.
you might have watched and been like, well, actually, I kind of knew that, but didn't realise to that extent what that meant?
Yeah, there's definitely been parts of the videos where I've thought, oh, I didn't actually quite realise that was illegal, that was not. I always thought that the 4D plates were illegal. Obviously they're not. I always thought that they were. I'm not sure why. I think because when you view them from certain angles, the letters actually appear different to how they appear from straight on and how they were intended to from the factory.
Sure. There's going to be a lot of police out there that are going to be, I don't want to say uneducated, but uneducated in that particular area.
Yeah, I think you find a lot of police officers aren't very knowledgeable on the traffic stuff, but it's if you come across a police officer who is knowledgeable and is more knowledgeable than you are, and you've got modifications that are illegal.
Yeah, for sure.
I knew a lad in Plymouth who had a little Volkswagen Lupo, and it was slammed, like on cut springs and everything. It used to scrape over all the speed bumps. He got stopped by the police about 4 years ago, and his car got prohibited from the road. Yeah, so that's just, they can actually prohibit it from the road. So you've got to park your car there. They'll check what the mileage is on the engine, on the odometer, and that car has to then get taken away and repaired. If you drive it 1 mile, you'll get in big trouble because you've driven a prohibited car on the road. Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's what the content that we're making is there for, is to say, it's not in any way to say to you, you need to change that now. It's more like, here's the rules, in case you didn't know already.
Yeah.
It's on you now. You've seen what you need to do. Go and get it sorted.
It's just building up that awareness for people, really, because where else are you supposed to go to find out knowledge on cars? Most people wouldn't have a clue. They go on Google search, is this illegal? And it'll take you to some forum from a Vauxhall Astra page from 2007 with all the pictures because the links are all dead, with one bloke shouting his mouth off because he thinks he knows the law, when in reality, when you've got Owen doing the videos, that's hard fact. You know exactly now. There's no ifs, no buts. This is legal, that's not legal. So,
well, Owen was saying to me there's a lot of difference between legislation and then construction and use.
Yeah, construction and use is a big area.
So, guys, as always, thank you very much for tuning in the video. This was definitely different to what we're used to. No idea how the footage is going to turn out, but hopefully it's all good. But we'll see you in the next one, and there'll be lots more ST mod videos to come, lots more videos from Owen, and of course we need to get moving with the Golf mods, because the Golf is certainly seen better days. But guys, thanks as always. Like the video if you haven't already. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. I'll stick Ross's Instagram in there as well in case you want to go check him out and look at his cars. But yeah, we'll see you next time. Peace out. No, go on, you do it. Go on.
Peace out.
No, you have to touch the lens.
Peace out.